Today we are granted the ease by which we travel from one place to another, but this wasn't always the case. In his book, Today and Tomorrow by Henry Ford, he argues that the increased movement of people has been a key factor in fostering peace and preventing conflicts. Back in the days of the Civil War, most people lived their lives within a very small geographic space. They would often live and die within 100 miles of where they were born. This led to the creation of isolated pockets and distinct regional identities. These regional differences led to misunderstandings and conflicts of interest, which eventually escalated into the Civil War. People in different parts of the country had little knowledge of other ways of life or other ways of thinking. Fast forward to today, and modern transportation has made it easy for people to easily commute between states, not even working in the same state that they live in, and even easily move between countries. It is now common for people to work, live, and even go to college in a different state than which they were born. Increased movement has gotten rid of and diminished the identities of small isolated groups or your identity to a single state and made people identify more with their nations. When people travel, they are exposed to diverse perspectives, and a great example of this is Europe's history, which is marked by a long time of conflicts where nations were constantly fighting among each other. These wars were often driven by nationalism and competition for resources. These conflicts were fueled by distinct identities and isolated economies of each nation. Advent of modern transportation, such as railroads, highways, and even air travel, has transformed not only Europe but also the whole world. As countries become more connected through these means of travel, they also start interconnecting their economies to one another. The creation of the European Union solidified this connectedness by promoting the free movement of goods, services, and people across borders. The EU fosters cultural and economic ties that make war between neighboring countries almost unthinkable nowadays. Henry Ford was a visionary who saw the potential of transportation to shape and create a more peaceful world. Today we live in a world where the barriers between us are increasingly falling away. Nowadays with the internet, the barriers of location don't actually exist that much anymore, and we can communicate with people from across the world in a matter of seconds and work from wherever we want. Reading Today and Tomorrow has been a fascinating time for me because it allows you to see what the world was like before and after everyone had access to cheap power at their fingertips via gas motors, tractors, cars, or even leaf blowers. Just via the engine, cheap and easy power has been something that revolutionized our lives.